Hey guys, this is Deni. As always, I'm sure many of you are often just looking for some cool game to play in the evening at the PC. Sure, you can go to Skyrim for the 100th time, or even Starfield, jump around the planets, or even Witcher to get some fresh air. But there are a lot of other really top games for solo play, and for co-op too. Today, I will tell you about really great games, at least try to play, which are worth playing. Click on the like, click on subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go! Do you miss adrenaline and dynamic gameplay? The perfect place to get it all? Good old Crossout. Tense battles, dozens of different vehicles, and hundreds of parts for their customization are waiting for you. You can make a powerful, bulletproof tank and destroy your enemies just by the look of it. Or make something smaller, but fast, and get in the back of unsuspecting enemies. In any case, Crossout is the best place to show everyone who is a real pro. Download the game at the link in the description. To start with Warhammer in my video, it is certainly nonsense. If anyone suddenly does not know, I'm not a fan of the universe, and played mostly only in Vermintide and in Space Marine. But here is Boltgun. It's the most classic shooter with extensive levels and diverse combat arsenal, where you, being a brutal man, will exterminate the most dangerous heretics in the galaxy. The game is very dynamic, coolly stylized because there are kinds of towdy effects and 3 levels. You get such a mixture of graphics. In general, as for me, looks straight decent. Especially like it if you are a fan of hardcore shooters like Doom. Syberia series is already very cool, but the last part that was released is the pinnacle of the whole series. Well, personally in my opinion. And in this game, we are waiting for 2 main characters at once. We will play for Kate Walker, a New York lawyer whose life was turned upside down by adventures, and Dana Rose, a promising young pianist from Wagon whose career is in the shadow of the Second World War. Escape from prison, visit abandoned cemeteries, explore mountain peaks, and dive into a whirlwind of adventure. We will be walking in 1937 and 2004 through charming different cities in Eastern Europe. There will be a lot of puzzles, beautiful graphics, and wonderful music. Let's Go to Space, a game about space engineers, which can be played in co-op. Basically, it's just a giant-sized space sandbox in which we can do anything. You can build spaceships, stations, outposts, and travel through space, exploring planets and gathering resources to survive. There are basically 2 game modes here, creative and survival. In creative mode, resources and building are unlimited, and in survival mode, we have to manage resources and build everything manually as always. In addition, there are scenarios with a linear plot and the ability to create your own tasks. You can even create your own worlds and invite other players. The number of mechanics in the game is off the charts. How long have you been playing BattleBit Remastered? While Call of Duty and Battlefield suffer from the bullshit of pretending to kill their game, BattleBit continues to give a lot of cool emotions to players. You are waiting for a lot of modes, and battles are no less large than in the same Battlefield. Servers for 254 people. A huge variety of weapons, maps, modes, fun moments. I honestly don't even know what disadvantages the game has. Even the fact that there is low polygonal graphics goes in favor of the game. And there is no graphics overload. Everything is just as it should be. Yes, and with online in the game in principle too, all is well. So if you want an online shooter, go ahead. And if you want robots instead of a shooter, there's nothing better than a Miyazaki game. The 6th part of Armored Core turned out to be more than successful. The main feature here is dynamic battles. They are sometimes crazy. We create and control our mech, move in any direction, and using the mobility of the machina both on the ground and in the air. Custom is it, and the choice of parts affects the movements and style of combat, which allows you to choose a strategy for each level. There is no open world, but the locations are gigantic, as well as bosses that are waiting for you in this game. In general, the game is really cool. If you haven't played it, you should. If you know the game Phasmophobia, then I'm sure you must know about its maximally improved version Demonologist. Here we basically do everything the same, but we exorcise demons instead of ghosts, plus the game has a bit more possibilities and looks better. The possibilities are, for example, opening secret passages with words, yes, and communication with demons looks more fun. In general, interesting and beautiful game. And this is Stellaris, a little different space than was in Space Engineers. This is Stellaris, and it gives us the opportunity to meet and communicate with alien races during interstellar travel. In the game, we start as a civilization that has just discovered interstellar travel, exploring the galaxy and making discoveries that could change the fate of their empire. Having said that, the game itself is cute, so you will enjoy the space without stopping. We can generate various features of our empire and interact with other races through diplomacy, but you can also break someone's face in battle. Wars, war fleets, and so on are normal. All in all, an enjoyable game. But in the game Aliens Dark Descent, you will have to command a squad of colonial marines and stop the spread of dangerous xenomorphs on the moon of Letha. You will control the soldiers in real time and fight a variety of xenomorphs and other creatures. You will be able to choose your own survival paths, install motion sensors, and personalize your squads with a class system. There is enough gameplay variety to go around. It is also important to form and improve your infantry squads, because everything depends not only on you but also on your soldiers. In general, if you are a fan of Aliens and you like this universe, you can try it. The wonderful Ratchet Clank. Here we are going to travel through different dimensions in the company of these guys to help them defeat the evil emperor from a parallel reality. Not only interesting, but also beautiful adventure is waiting for you. Developers have improved the game a bit for PC. They added support for ultra-wide aspect ratios, unlocked additional frame rates, added realistic shadows and reflections, and so on. In a word, beautiful. We will not reveal much detail, just one of the best PC adventures you can play, made beautifully. How about flying? You can do that in DCS World. It is a military flight simulator. It is a basic platform that includes 2 free planes, Su-25T attack aircraft and TF-51D trainer. You will fly over the vast territory of the Caucasus, Western Georgia, and Abkhazia, and so on. The Su-25T airplane is extremely realistic, but it is not very hard to play. Here they simplified the avionics so that beginners would be more comfortable. Plus, there is a large-scale semi-dynamic campaign. Well, if the airplanes are not enough, of course you can buy, and others for real money. In general, the game is fun. Well, and the fact that they give free to try, it's cool. By the way, you can try to play Combat Master Season 1 for free. In short, it's like Counter-Strike, but much more dynamic. Although it is more accurate to say that it is like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, only in a different wrapper and for free. The game has excellent movement and stunning dynamics. If you're looking for an adequate replacement for Counter-Strike, here Combat Master is for you. Only it will be a bit hard to get used to because you have to move here, and move professionally because movement is one of the main parts of the shooter, and the ability to move well is a skill. It's more like Apex Legends for comparison, but otherwise it's a cool shooter. Naturally, there are a lot of maps, modes, and weapon customization. Anything strategic to add? There's a new Total War Farron out, but it's mediocre, so it's better to play something more finalized. Farthest Frontier is probably the coolest city building simulator you can find. The settlers live their own lives, while you're in charge of the more global development of the city. You can build, develop, do different tasks. There are under 50 of them. Engage in agriculture. There are as many as 10 types of work. In general, a great thing and looks very good. While Diablo 4 is losing players, I would recommend you to play Last Epoch instead. I played it not that much, only 20 hours, but nevertheless I enjoyed it as much as possible. You are waiting for a full-fledged RPG with pumping and a huge set of development paths. There are 15 of them in the game. And what is more cool, each of the skills has its own development tree, allowing you to modify them in the direction in which you need. Conditionally, skeleton warriors can turn into archers, and some snake strike in the ability to summon snakes. And so in general with all skills, add good graphics and you have a great game. If wheeled action is not for you, and you like meditative gameplay but still with the opportunity to shoot, then the ideal solution will be hunting. You can certainly go to Monster Hunter, but there is still action and rest will not work, especially when you consider that the monsters there die for 20 minutes. And here is a full-fledged classic hunting in the forest for different animals, with beautiful graphics, a lot of animals and weapons. Given that the map in the game is not small in size, walking on foot across such vast expanses is impossible. Therefore, there are cars, and there are a lot of them. They are naturally different. There is an opportunity to develop as in terms of weapons, cars, licenses, and so on. In general, Titan really can. And let me remind you of another cyberpunk game that many of you haven't seen. It's called The Ascent, and it's also an action RPG. The truth is that it is isometric, not one person, as it is done in Cyberpunk 2077. You're a slave of the Ascent group, a nasty corporation, but after they disappear, you find yourself free. Security systems are down, competitors and criminal gangs are trying to seize control, and you have to stop them and reveal the truth where the corporation has gone. And you can do it, both solo and in co-op with a friend. I'm sure that since it's an RPG, you don't need to tell in detail about customization of everything and everything. It is there and done decently. Graphics is also cool and the dynamics of the game is good, although it is in isometrics. In general, I recommend it. And so, this is the end for today. I hope you found something cool for yourself and therefore clicked and on the like and on the subscription too. Well, with you was, as always, Deni, and have a nice day.